Alexa, accept call.
You received a call from an inmate at the Department of Corrections. This call will be recorded and monitored.
Ah, Mr. Green. It's been a while since I've heard anything from you. Well, yeah, I guess we've all been a little busy lately. So how is life in the big old state penitentiary? Well, okay. What do you make, 42 cents an hour? Well, okay. Ah, all right. So a dad's joke, okay. Okay, what? All right, yeah. So the guys in the penitentiary, they like that kind of stuff, huh? That's funny to them. Okay, here's one for you. What do you call a fish wearing a bow tie? Sophisticated. Yeah, tell that to your buddies. If they like your joke, they're going to like that one even more. One of the things I like about you is you accept your life. You know, you went out, you committed a crime, you got caught, you got convicted, you went to prison, and you're accepting that. That's good. And so that will make it a little easier for you to get through the days. And then when you get out, I really hope you'll be a better person. Well, that's... yeah, I hear that from a lot of people. Lots of people. Okay. It originated from you. Okay. Yeah. All right. So... how's your supportive relationships? How's that going? Now, how in the world can I be the only one? So all your friends are locked up in there with you. You know, that's like that little thing with you might be a redneck if all your coworkers and all your friends are the same people. Come on, Marcel. No, I don't believe that. Well, I guess, how often do you call? Do you call every day? I could see somebody not wanting to pick up after every day or something. Or disconnect. Well, times are rough out here. And, if you're got a prepaid plan, I can understand it. They're trying to make ends meet, and maybe the phone just isn't a high priority. Yeah, that too, yeah. With this system, they're making money. You're locked up. You want to talk to your friends. You want to talk to your family. You want to talk to your loved ones. You want to talk to the community, anybody in general, and they make you pay for that call. That, back in the day, inmates used to be able to call up, and they could call collect, and we'd pay something like 2 cents a minute or something, Especially if you call it on Sunday and get a discount. You can get a special plan that you'd buy. But now, I even got conned out of a plan one time. I was looking up a plan for a friend of mine in jail and wound up getting scammed by another company. It's just, it's ridiculous what they're doing, making money off of you guys. But that's why they have prison reformers. We got to get out there. We got to do something. You got to speak up. I don't think anybody should be paying for phone calls from you guys. It's part of the process of getting you back into society. Okay, you go ahead. Go ahead. Preach it. That's the kind of stuff you need to get out to the public. You need to talk. Oh, yeah. I'll do what I can to get this word out.
Because you have 60 seconds remaining.
You've got a lot to say. And I really like your attitude. I really like how you stay positive and how you're sharing that with others. And we got to piggyback on that. We got to keep it going. Okay. All right. I'm going to hold you to that. Hey, Marcel, don't let me down. No, they tell me out here I shouldn't trust you guys. No. I mean, the minute you walk out, you're going to just run away and get back into trouble? Hurt somebody?
You have 30 seconds remaining.
Good. I like when people destroy rumors. Okay, bro. Thanks for the call. It was really nice hearing from you. Stay positive. Yep. Oh, yeah, you know it. And if you need anything, just give me a call. And I'm going to find those folks. You send me a message. I'm going to find those folks. So they'll answer their phone. Yeah. Don't slip on your supportive relationships. Okay. Okay, I'm Joel Wilborn. Welcome to another episode of AQA's Inmate Call. We just got off the phone with the spectacular Marcel Green. He's in prison for, shall we say, illegal drug activity. He buys, sells, uses. Got caught up in the old nastiness. You name it, he's got it. And he's the kind of person that's to go to. Hey, you need some Quaaludes, you go to Marcel. And he's been in and out. He's a regular revolving door. Kind of like, the judge will look at him and it's like, we're just going to keep on locking you up. And each time it gets a little bit longer and longer. And I guess he feels comfortable because, his friend is in there, and I think he even has some family members that's locked up in the state penitentiary with him. What's nice, though, he doesn't pretend. He doesn't run around saying, they railroaded me, they set me up, I'm innocent, because he knows he's guilty. And it's an insult to people who are innocent, and they're trying to get people to hear him. It's more or less like, well, you got Marcel. He said the same thing. Well, Marcel's not doing that. He looks right at him and says, I'm guilty. And so he's not contributing to the problem. He's actually one of the people that is leading toward a cure for this extra sentencing and harsh treatment. Let's face it, guys. Prison life is hard. I know we're all happy that this person steals my car, he gets convicted, he goes to prison, he just should rot in there. Except one day he's going to get out, and if we don't do anything, he's going to be stealing that car again. And maybe this next time, somebody's going to die. And we can't really blame the people that do that because there's something that's motivating them, something that makes them believe that they have to keep doing this. So we have to show them an alternative. And that's usually the case with addicts. They get in above their heads, or at least they think they do, and they turn to the drugs because the drugs are their friends. That they help take them away from all of their problems. And if you take the drugs away, they'll find something else. So you just have to take that motivation away. You have to work with folks to help them find out what works best for them. I can't tell people what works best for them. I can't tell Marcel committing crime is just a bunch of trouble for you because it's obviously not working. And so I rely a lot on supportive relationships, and Marcel gets into that. But his group isn't as big, and he gives up too easily. If we're not always available. There's times that at 2:00 in the morning he needs to talk to somebody, and he's not going to be able to reach anybody because the people will turn their phones off, or they're just fast asleep, or they're just working or something. And then when you call, when Marcel, let's say, calls me at 2:00 in the morning, I don't answer. He just gets discouraged and tries something else. And if you have 14, 15 people out there, and you go down the list and you find somebody, that could help. It's no guarantee. Or maybe if somebody just checks in once in a while. If Marcel is out here and I call him up, hey dude, how you doing? And he may not want to talk. There was a person who called me one time and I asked her, are you high? And she says, yeah. And she had just gotten in a fight. Now she's in the hospital. And I kind of think, is there something I could have done? No, I wasn't there. She needs somebody right there. A roommate who has changed their life around would have been a lot more of an influence for her, like a better example than somebody who's 300-400 miles away. And so you really have to take these at a case-by-case basis. Some folks, you simply offer them a good job, and they'll say, I'm an ex-con, and they're like, we don't care, we want to give you a chance. And that makes them happy, and they're motivated, and they'll prove to the world that they can do this. And the one that's the most happy is themselves. They're happy with their life. They know they can do it, they believe it, and we as a community give them that opportunity. And of course, once again, not everybody is going to take advantage of that. But you don't know till you try. And those that we work with and we give the opportunities and they prove us wrong and they don't impress themselves and they don't make themselves happy, okay, we have to accept the fact that that's why we have prisons. But the prison population will be greatly diminished if we concentrated more on supportive relationships. Charging people for a phone call, charging people to send email messages, and I mean, what's going to be next? Charging people to visit? I think that should be part of the process. We fund the penal system, and they pay their overhead, and then these guys can go out and work in the community and make some money, kind of like temp workers or something like that. Maybe work for the state, and we could get a little bit of extra money in to add to a fund that will help those that can't afford the phone calls. And that's not just the inmates, because 99% of them can't anyway. It's the family members. If an incarcerated person's daughter wants to call and doesn't have money to put on the phone, that shouldn't be a reason to stop them. I know, me being a diabetic, I ran out of insulin one time, and it was really tough for me, and I was trying to diet and stuff. And being a type 1 diabetic, that's just not a good thing. So I wound up at the emergency room, and they looked at me and said, "Why didn't you take your insulin?" I said, "Well, I couldn't afford it." And he sat down, looked me in the eye, and he said, "That's not going to be an excuse for you anymore. If you need insulin, you come in here and you will get it." And that right there impressed me. And now I don't have that issue because I'm well insured. And I'm glad that I was able to get through it, and I'm glad those people were there to help me. And it really made an impact on me. And for Marcel to be out here, if he's looking for a job, and it's not easy for an ex-inmate to get a job. It's not easy to get a professional license. We don't even want to let them vote. And they've got this thing hanging over them for the rest of their life. And it's more or less like, if you're going to tag this on a person, why putting them through that danger of going to prison? The judge should hit the gavel and say, "You will hereby be referred to as a felon." And that will be tacked on every record you have. You show your driver's license, and it will say felon. You get a certificate from a university, it will have felon on there. That will be like a title at the end of their name. John Smith, felon. If you're that bent on punishing people for the rest of their life, why not just take out that extra cost of sending people to prison and tack that ridiculous little title on there? Because that's what we do, and that's not fair to anybody. Walking through those doors means that crime has been served. It's done. It should never bounce onto them again, unless they go out and commit the same crime and go back to prison for the same period. Then when they're sitting in prison, that's where you refer to them as a felon. That's where you refer to them as a criminal. Once they walk out, that's why we send them there. And look at what they have to go through. These people sit with the same people. They have to talk to the same people every day. and they've got a menial job to do. And they'll take classes, but then if the prison decides, well, we don't want that class anymore, or we're going to take you out of it, or we're going to modify things, they're just lost. And so they're completely at the disposal of the prison authorities. That's why I stress supportive relationships. These people can talk to them. These people understand them. And when Marcel gets out and he sits with somebody he grew up with, this person he can consider a friend. And when he talks to his friend will hear what he has to say and understand it. It's like, oh yeah, you want to get drunk. I understand that. And then he'll understand alternatives. We'll say, why don't we just go to the gym, work out, let some of that frustration out. We don't need to go get high or drunk. I don't know. Maybe Marcel will listen to that. But what he really needs is like a best friend. Because a best friend, they hear what you say, but they also hear what you don't say. They understand what you're looking for. So if Marcel says, I'm just so sad and so depressed, I don't want to be in this planet anymore, a best friend will know what he's saying. He won't sit there and say, oh, this guy wants to commit suicide. His best friend understands what's going on in between the lines. And he knows the right questions to ask. And that will help motivate Marcel. That's why I'm really strong on parents, good parenting. Because when a child looks to a parent needs to take all of the experiences in life and express that to the child in a way that the child will understand and will be able to walk out into the world and say, I learned something and I'm going to apply it and be proud of it. And we all have to look at it like this. We have gifts, within ourselves. And Marcel, he likes to stay positive. He likes to joke and laugh and tell stories of his life. He's very expressive. He's a talker. The people he needs to be around are the people who listen. And their gift to him is to listen. So when people call me up or people visit me or write me letters, they're looking for the gift that I have to give them. And that is listening. Not necessarily judging them, not putting them down. Just listening. And that's what I do. And for me, I like to share that gift. I like to be able to share my experiences along with other people's experiences when I understand what they're saying to mean that they need some kind of reassurance or they need some kind of guidance. Because I can talk about Marcel. My friend Marcel, he went through that problem and this is what he did. Or maybe something that I did. I can't relate directly to a lot of people who have been incarcerated because I never have. But I know enough people that I can share their experiences with them or even direct them to them. Why don't you give me your number and I'll have Marcel call you. But the thing is, we all got to work together on this. And it's the only way to keep people from committing crimes, keep people out of prison, to make the community a safer or caring environment. Because right now, gangs are the ones that's giving people what they need. Or actually not necessarily what they need, but what they want. These gangs are saying, nobody cares about you. And prisoners, when they get bored, they do things. Or when they get discouraged, they do things that we don't want them doing, and it doesn't help them. And they're around people that don't discourage it. And so, when we walk out those doors, we need to show them that this world isn't the one that they left. That we've changed, that we're better people, and that we welcome them, and that we understand what they're going through. Nobody's perfect, And imagine if you make a mistake and you get thrown in prison every time you do that. And then when you come out, they always remember it. They always bring it up. That'll give you an idea of what they're going through. Okay, well, thanks for listening. I hope you go out, have a great day, and make wonderful memories for tomorrow.